Hello. Just wanted to make sure that it was playing. Okay, I'm Ellen 08 and I'll be doing Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 13, episode 11. We're at Kyle's house and she's waiting for all the ladies to come over so they can all ride together to Ohio, where they're doing their girls' trip of the day to celebrate Annemarie's birthday. Um, Kyle says that she wanted to celebrate Anne-Marie in Ohio, but is concerned that every time that she's around, there's drama happening. Well, it's going to be no different later on, so. And whether or not the birthday celebration in Ohio will be different, well, that remains to be seen. So, Kyle, Kyle thinks that a day trip with the ladies will help them all get to know each other better. Or maybe the ladies will help to get to know Anne-Marie better, I don't know, without any arguing. But I'm sure Kyle knows by now that with any real reality housewives franchise, a girl's trip, whether it lasts a day or a week or even a weekend, you can promise there's gonna be some arguing. Because that's how it always happens. Garcelle and Sutton are riding together. Sutton says that she never wants to go to another Taco Tuesday. Now, I don't know if she meant like she'll never want to go to one in life or just with this group of women. I want to guess that she means with this group of ladies. And I don't blame her if that's what she means. Garcelle says she doesn't want to see another taco. We'll see if she changes her mind from that, but okay. And she adds that she hasn't seen anybody from said event except for Dorit. And this segues into Garcelle telling Sutton about her lunch or dinner get together with Dorit and how that went left. But Garcelle says that while she and Dorit fight hard, they also can let it go and try to have a good time. Well, after this, I'm not sure if I would want to move forward with someone like her who's just destined to not get it and not care to understand and learn. So, but I'm not Garcelle, so that's her decision. And even she hopes that everyone is good during the Ohio trip. Everybody can just put whatever drama that happened behind them and just enjoy themselves. Sutton asks if Dorit acknowledged the understanding, and Garcelle just says that she's just choosing to move past it. And it's obvious she's over stressing about it and letting it get her down. But if Dorit puts her foot in her mouth again with you, will you know how to handle it? Let's see. Sutton says that she's heading to her good friend's house where there'll be a wine tasting lunch. And Garcelle asks if there's anything Kyle will be tasting since she's not drinking anything with alcohol content. And Sutton said it's likely water. Dorit and Anne-Marie are the next to arrive. And I think Garcelle and Sutton then come over. Kyle says that Erica is not going because she contacted COVID. Kyle gets Erica on the phone so that she and the ladies can check in on her. Erica says that she was tested 3 times for COVID, and each time it came out positive. She realized that, she realized that her throat felt scratchy, and she thought it was just allergies, and then when it got worse, that's when she tested herself. The ladies tell her to feel better, and then they get ready to hit the road. The ladies are whipping it up and open a bottle of champagne, and they toast each other to a great trip and hopefully great lives. And again, it's being brought up that someone wishes that this trip hopefully will get everybody to have fun, put the past behind them, and to get to know each other better. Anne-Marie acknowledges that she and Sutton had a rocky start, but her focus right now is having a good time and rolling with the punches as far as how the day goes. Sutton has exciting news to share. She talks about her recent date with when she mentions her date, I honestly thought, is she gonna talk about her date with Sal, Steve, or with both of them? And it turns out she only talks about her recent date, which was with Steve. And once they heard that Sutton got a date, that's all it took for them to be all ears and just lean. It's like, what happened, girl? Well, Sutton tells them a little bit about Steve and gets to the most important part. Ready? Sal asks for her number and asks for her second date. And of course, all the ladies are happy for her. So am I. I hope things work out very well for you and Steve, even if it doesn't lead to the altar. And who knows? Maybe she'll have date numbers 3, 4, 5, 10, 40. Who knows? I'll bet now some of the ladies will shut up about her not being able to get a second date, right? Here's hoping. Sutton says that Steve has been texting her, and that lets her know that he must really, really like her. I can see it. And then Kyle goes over the plans for Ohio. Though the friend group will be split in two, or one will go shopping, and I don't know where it was that Dorit, Sutton, and Crystal were, but it looked like there was in some sort of like wine and cheese shop or something. They arrive in Ohio. Dorit and Crystal and Sutton were together. Dorit is speaking in Italian to I think she's a saleswoman. And that's when Crystal muses to Sutton that the saleswoman will be there for hours from Dorit talking to her. Like not only because like Dorit likes to talk, but Dorit's showing off her like speaking in a different language. Annemarie, Garcelle, and Kyle are together, and they go to a clothing shop. And Kyle talks about how much he likes to shop, and I don't care. On to the wine tasting lunch. They all raise their glasses to Annemarie's birthday. Kyle comments how nice it is to get away to places like Ohio where it's quiet and peaceful. And Kyle doesn't feel like Los Angeles has the same effect on her, or she has no connection to it like she did in the past. And it makes me wonder if moving to Ohio is in her future, and will she be moving there with or without Mauricio? Because she mentions after Portia graduates from high school, she was thinking about moving elsewhere. So, and I'm wondering if it's going to be in Ohio or anywhere else peaceful. Lunch is served. Everybody's eating, and then Kyle introduces another card game. This should be good. The first card reads, to lick someone's toe. Okay, ew. Sutton steps up to the challenge and licks Kyle's toe. Ugh. Sutton says that this is the Kyle that she loves, funny and fun. You love her that much to lick her toe too? All right, girl. And the card game is helping to bring in the fun, happy, and relaxed vibes. And as Garcelle says, can we keep it like this? Again, like I said about RHOP regarding the painting party, about keeping up the spirits, that remains to be seen. Wait, no, I didn't. Never mind. Anyway, and then there's the following question. What is appropriate for husbands when it comes to communicating with other women on social media? Dorit says that men are not supposed to be communicating with other women on social media. Crystal agrees. Kyle confesses that she and Mauricio had a fight about that. And she definitely does not like it when Mauricio likes other women's photos and following them on social media. And she also adds that Mauricio is always getting DMs from other women, and they don't care that he's already married. This is obviously a sore spot for Kyle, so we're not going to get too much on that. But it's funny how I get the whole, like, nobody can talk about your business unless you can, like, because it is your business to talk about, but She just chewed into Sutton for implying that Mauricio was cheating on her. And now here she is talking about the fight she and Mauricio had regarding him following other women on social media. Okay, let's see. Cake is served, and then the next question that's not on the card, which is a random one, from Kyle. Would you date a woman? And it goes silence, because like they're probably wondering, okay, where is this coming from? I have no idea either. Crystal flips the question to Kyle and asks if she would date a woman. Kyle says, yes, she would. So, Kyle, is there anything you would like to share with the class? Here's your chance. Garcelle, via confessional, says that a few years ago, Kyle was shocked that certain women would have threesomes or talk about making out with women. And this was during the time that Denise was still on the show, and she was feeling uncomfortable with the talk about threesomes and was worried about her kids being within earshot. Keep that in mind. And fast forward to today, now Kyle is open about having relationships with other women. Garcelle says that she doesn't know much, but she knows there's a country song somewhere in there. Now, when I heard her say that, I'm thinking, has Garcelle ever heard of Morgan Wade by chance? Is there something Garcelle knows that we don't? Kyle tells the ladies that she was in Cabo with friends, and there was a question that came up about scissoring. I guess somebody asked what scissoring was, and then Kyle do a demonstration of scissoring, which is fully clothed and simulated. Boy, I'm glad Denise wasn't there. Imagine what will happen from that. Right. Kyle then tells the ladies about her event called A Celebration of Life, which is to honor her best friend who took her own life. And she wants it to be more for a lively occasion, and mentions that Morgan Wade will also be performing there. We get to Garcelle's house. This is after the trip. At Garcelle's house, her twin sons come over, and Garcelle confesses that she's hit with the reality that her boys will be almost graduating high school, and before she knows it, they'll be going off to college, and she won't know how to handle them not being around anymore. Jax admits that he's more than ready to leave for college one day. Garcelle announces that Jade asked her if Ashley could sleep over, and the twin says that their mother is hating. Well, yeah, because she's your mother. She doesn't want to have her teenage boys trying to get into something that they're not ready for and accidentally bring home more babies. No. Like, you're still too young. Focus on being a child. Focus on high school, getting your education. And if you decide to go to college, get your college education from there. Then worry about finding a woman and talk about having babies with her one day. Whether you marry her or not, I don't know. So it's obvious she's going to feel some type of way regarding her teenage boys. And it's not really hating like you're thinking it is. One of the twins asks if she thinks another grandkid will be brought home. Well, there better not be. Garcelle says she does not want her sons having sex because it's too soon. Agreed. Very much agreed. And Garcelle asks Jade what he will do if Ashlyn does sleep over. He says they're going to watch a movie. Will you be watching a movie in your bedroom? Because if you're thinking about doing that, you better forget it, kid. And I hope watching a movie better not be coded language for having sex. But Jax jokes that they will have sex, and just Garcelle goes over to hug him like as if she wants to attack him. And Jax was like, why are you crowding me? I'm not the one doing anything. It's him. And then Garcelle says, well, Jax, since you brought the subject up, we're going to have the sex talk. And they were like screaming like, oh, come on, man, do we have to? And Garcelle notes how age appropriate it is for her teenage boys to squirm and giggle over it, even though they look like they're grown men in height. Garcelle asks them if they could talk about it. They say no, but Garcelle goes on ahead and asks them how much they know about sex. Jack says that he doesn't want to sit there and tell his own mother what he knows about sex. And in a way, I understand him feeling like that because when you think about it, what if he does tells her what she knows and she assumes that he's doing something? And all Garcelle is concerned with is that they're responsible when they have sex, to remember that no means no, and not yes, not maybe, and the girl's likely playing hard to get. No means no, period. And she wants them to understand the importance and meaning of consent. Like, both parties have to be on the same page regarding sex. And if one's not on the same page, then it's a no-go. And then the Garcelle decides, you know what, I'm done with having to talk. Y'all are just getting here, and I'm just wondering if I'll get through this week. Like, I can't deal with y'all. And then there's a montage of getting ready for the Celebration of Life event. Kyle and Teddy are picking up Morgan Wade. Kyle says in her confessional that there are people that she speaks to every day no matter what, and two of those said people are Teddy and Morgan. She talks to them about everything from friends, husbands, siblings, work, complaints, to celebrations. Well, apparently Dorit's not in that loop anymore. Morgan rehearses her song for the sound check, and Kyle silences her assistant so that she can hear Morgan sing. And it's obvious that she's very much enamored. More people are arriving at the event. We see two of Kyle's daughters, Alexia and Farah, Faye Resnick, her sister Kim, and the usual suspects, Annemarie, Garcelle, Sutton, Crystal, and Dorit. I assume Erica's still sick. Garcelle greets Faye. She sees Teddy, who says, "The gnat is back." Okay. Next. Garcelle just walks off like, yeah, hi. Moving on. Mauricio, I notice, is not at the event. Per what Kyle tells Lorene, her best friend's mother, Sugar, he's out of town on business. And Garcelle says it's very telling that Mauricio is not present to be here for Kyle during this time, and that means something's definitely not right with their marriage. And he's probably not trying to hide it anymore. Garcelle joins Annemarie and Crystal. And it's at this point, Annemarie jumps right into it with the following. Not to change the subject, but Sutton, well, you guys know her best. You guys are the closest with her. Her esophagus. Garcelle and Crystal are already over. They're looking like, here we go. Annemarie says that she feels like she's beating a dead horse, but it's just driving her bananas. Garcelle basically says what she says is parallel to what I'm thinking. Why do you care, Annemarie? Garcelle says that she doesn't think it's Beverly Hills to talk about someone's esophagus. And then Annemarie consents that she cares because she's in healthcare. Okay, so that's the only answer you got? And as Sutton has said to you before, you are not her doctor. And you don't even know Sutton like that. So yeah, it is like beating a dead horse, and you should just let it go. And Garcelle says that it's appropriate to talk about jewelry, bags, someone's husband, but not anybody's esophagus. Annemarie defends that after researching all of her medical books, went to work, consulted with anesthesiologists, and asked ENT, a person would look stupid for saying what Sutton said to someone in medicine. And Annemarie says that a small esophagus is not the reason and wonders if Sutton has an eating disorder. To repeat Garcelle's question, why do you care? And most importantly, who the hell asked you? It ain't your health concern, so don't worry about it, sweetie. And of course she continues. Annemarie continues that a lot of acid reflux or regurgitation can cause scar tissue in the throat. And as somebody who was still going through an eating disorder herself, this obviously struck Crystal something awful. And Crystal's wondering, Annemarie, are you implying that Sutton has an eating disorder? Annemarie says that she's not. And then Crystal says, you just mentioned the words eating disorder. And Annemarie wants to let the record show that those are Crystal's words, not hers. But you did just ask about it. You did ask if Sutton had an eating disorder. Therefore, you mentioned it. Oh, Lord. Crystal, via confessional, tells Annemarie to own up to what she just said and considers her the biggest gaslighter. And she adds that she does not need to look up a medical encyclopedia to know what a gaslighter is. And another question I have for you, Annemarie. Of all times and places, why would you choose to bring this up at Kyle's event for her friend that took her own life? This could have waited until later. What? And Kyle excuses herself to get herself something to drink and asks Crystal if she wants anything. I want to get away too, Garcelle, so I'm with you on that. Over to Sutton and Dorit. They're talking. Sutton brings up her own experience dealing with suicide regarding her father. And her father's been dead for 20 years, and she still has her mother. And she tells Dorit she's lucky to have two parents that are still living. And this is such a sore spot for Sutton, considering neither her mother nor she ever talks about it. And Sutton has lived with the guilt for a long time, and she tries to figure out what would make her father do such a thing. Garcelle finds Sutton and says, girl, you are not going to believe this. And then she says, oh, well, actually, she had the look that said, you will not believe what I just heard. Sutton was like, what? What is it? Garcelle says, Annemarie is coming for you. And Garcelle says that Sutton's small esophagus was brought up yet again. And via confessional, Dorit says Garcelle loves to strike a match, throw it on the flames, and then walk away. Okay, first of all, Dorit, no one was talking to you. And you and Garcelle just had your minor beef, so you need to be quiet. Garcelle is addressing Sutton about what Annemarie said. Nobody's addressing you, and don't act like somebody's addressing what something was said. Okay, sorry. You act like someone is addressing what was said about you. This is an A and B conversation between Garcelle and Sutton. You're more than welcome to see yourself out of earshot of it. Like, just go. And you wonder why Garcelle doesn't care for you. And for Garcelle, are you sure Dorit is the person you want to move forward with? And since we're on the subject of striking matches and throwing it into the flames, what do you call what you did when you aired out Sutton making out with her driver? Is that not the same thing? I think so. But Sutton, on the other hand, she has no interest in thinking about Annemarie and what she says. At least not right now. Dorit says that she met Morgan 2 years ago, and that was before Morgan and Kyle got super close. And this happened in London when they had dinner for Mauricio's birthday. To Dorit, Morgan stuck out like a sore thumb because she had no idea why she was there, but she was nice all the same. She adds that the dinner with Kyle and Mauricio was the last time that Dorit and PK hung out with them as a couple. Dorit is watching Marie eating from Kyle's kebab and obviously does not look happy. It does kind of look more than friendly, so I can understand her looking at it that way, but it's obvious that she's still feeling a little jealous and left out because seeing the closeness between the two. Kyle gets everybody's attention and she thanks everybody for coming to the event, and it's a really special occasion. And she shares a story about how she and her friend Lorene met and how they became such great friends, because at first they could not stand each other, usual little kid stuff. And the speech that Kyle gave before she went into how she met her friend resonates with Sutton very well and her experience dealing with a loved one taking his own life. And Kyle gains perspective from her friend unaliving herself, which is that life is short and her focus should be to just be happy and focus on living. And that would include being around people that she wants in her life. And apparently it doesn't include Sutton or Dorit. And that was the episode. Can't wait to see next week. Because from what I saw on Instagram, where one Instagram page added in clips from next week, it should look interesting. I think it's when Crystal and Sutton have it out with Annemarie. So let's see how it goes with that. Bye.